When it comes to the weather, well, it's going to be a warm one outside again as we get into today. It's also going to be quite dry, as I mentioned. So we've kind of been in that pattern since this weekend. It's going to continue to be the case. The only time it really isn't warm if you're by Lake Superior on Tuesday, but that's about it. It's really going to continue staying warm and dry. But we're going to see a little bit of change as we start to head towards the weekend. Finally see some rain make its way in. And slightly cooler weather, though, will still be staying above the seasonal average. Let's start here. Here's a high pressure system that has made its way in, and it has really set up right north of the Great Lakes region. It's not going to be moving off too fast, help with the tropical development we're seeing off the eastern seaboard there. So it's going to keep the high pressure in place. So we're going to continue to see those dry conditions. Now, it's not going to be as sunny. Like over the weekend, you step outside, it was clear blue skies. It was really beautiful. We're going to see a bit of clouds, especially in northern Minnesota as we get this morning going through the day, some upper level clouds. But outside, that's still going to be seeing plenty of sunshine. Now, we might see some isolated showers here and there. Look at this. As we get into Tuesday, there's maybe some signs of isolated showers. It happens again, especially as we get late Wednesday going into Thursday. So something to keep a lookout for. But outside of that, it's still going to be remaining relatively dry and very much warm indeed. Again, I want to remind you, we're not in July, but it is going to be feeling like it because we're going to be seeing upper 70s, low 80s for many of us for today. It is going to be feeling that summer-like heat. And if you look at the winds, though, we're going to see a bit of a change as we start to go into Tuesday. I mentioned a bit of a lake breeze. Not going to be feeling that today. We're going to be staying calm, so even by Lake Superior, most of us are going to be still feeling that summer-like warmth. But we're going to be seeing the winds picking up overnight off the east, strongest by Lake Superior, and continue into Tuesday. Won't be extremely strong, but we can see some pretty good gusts, especially on Lake Superior, so we have to keep an eye on rip currents, some dangerous waves, and again, that lake breeze. Even with the warmth we've been feeling, Lake Superior is still around 60 degrees, so warmer than do we expect this time of year, but still relatively cool, especially to the 80s we're going to be feeling it for some of us today. So if you're by Lake Superior, we're going to be staying into the 60s for those highs as we get into Tuesday. Further inland, though, you won't be getting that relief as we'll still be getting into the 70s and even into the low 80s for Tuesday. And that's just going to be the case going forward. I mean, today we're going to be well above the seasonal average, getting close to the 20 degrees, if not more. That warm air is just going to continue sticking around into the weekend. It drops off a little bit during the weekend, but notice we're still going to be around 10 degrees above the seasonal average. And the warmest day, really outside of today, might come around Thursday and Friday, where we're again going to be into the 70s to low 80s. And there it is, 25 degrees above the seasonal average, possibly record-breaking heat. I mean, just for this term, you could probably get a single week over the past 100 years. And this is probably one of the warmest weeks in September, especially this late in September. So the warmth, it just really doesn't want to let up. And now we're looking at the upper level pattern. Here's that ridge just allowing that high pressure system to really settle up. Notice, though, going to have a trough start to make its way on through a bit of a divot in that jet stream. That's just going to bring a little bit of instability, maybe a little bit cooler air as well. That's why I saw the drop highs by the time you get to Sunday more into the 60s, lower 70s. And it's going to bring the rain. As I mentioned, we can see some even going late Wednesday, going to Thursday, but rain chances, you'll know, start to pick more back up as we get into Friday, going into Saturday, and especially as we get into Sunday. We're going to finally start to see a system develop and try to make its way in. We're a little bit far out to know the details on the system, but it looks like rain chances are finally going to return. We're going to finally get a bit more of that moisture making its way through. And you look at the temperature forecast, I did mention we're going to have that trough. Might bring a little bit cooler air, but doesn't matter. We're still going to be remaining above average. It looks like for the next week or two, you can look here at the 8 to 14 day outlook. That puts us close to the middle of October, still seeing likely those above average temperatures. So it looks like the warmth really has no reason to be moving away anytime soon. It's just going to want to stick around. So enjoy the summer. If you're a really big fan of summer, it's going to be a good week. Still going to be seeing those 70s, 80s for those highs. Plenty of sunshine before the rain returns as we get into the weekend.